Whether you're a lifelong keeper or just getting started, help us encourage responsible keeping, conservation, and public education in the interest of keeping our reptiles safe and healthy as we protect them for future generations. You're invited to spend time with us as we experience these awesome animals together on Intrepid Exotics. Hey, made it just in time. I was sitting here doing some last minute adjustments and trying to manage this girl all at the same time. So put us a couple minutes behind, but I think we're still pretty close. Okay, guys, God, it's been another busy day. They just keep getting busier and busier, man. I'm telling you. Let's see. Who all do we have in here? Nicole, good to see you again. Always good to be working on a Saturday night, right? Hey, man, how you doing? You listening as you make your rounds with the reptiles. That's my average day. Hey, Gene. Yep, round 2. Had the little chat on that video earlier today. So it was about time. I needed to do something with the bigger snakes, even if it was to just talk about something we've already talked about a million times. So, really? So, before we get too far along here, this is our new girl. As you can see, there's no shortage of energy. And she just shed for me. I seen her shed yesterday. Perfect little shed. She did really great. She's almost all of the blemishes. She's got one little spot on her that didn't go away with the shed. So she's been doing really, really well. Really happy. Nice. Hey, Bill. Mr. Hill. Hey. You guys all excited about next Friday? It is really going to be a lot of fun. What we got here? I'm not going to spend too much time going through all these. We're going to just hit it. Donna, how you doing? Laura. Christina, good to see you. Of course you want a gecko. Everybody wants a gecko. Geckos are awesome. All right. Let's see if I can get this thing to scroll on its own. The only thing, the only problem I've got with StreamYard is the chat will stop. If you don't hit it just right, it won't scroll on its own. It'll stop so you don't see it moving. And then all of a sudden you look up and the bar is about that long and you got to scroll through about 30 freaking chats that you missed. There we go. Community service time. Oh, awesome. Yeah, that should definitely count, Christina. She said that they're using their community service time. Christina and her husband both work up at the university. So, of course, educational stuff, that's, of course, that's right up their alley. But I know we talked a little bit about it on a live stream last week. But since then, everything's been confirmed. We've confirmed with the, all the times and all that stuff, which animals we're going to have out there. Confirmed all that stuff at the museum. So I've got the link in our group, in the educational group that is doing the stuff out at the museum. So if these guys decide they want to jump in, stuff like that, chit chat about it, then of course that's available. But I know most of the folks out there aren't really big YouTube folks, aren't really into all the camera time. God, this girl has got so much energy. It's insane. You're crazy, girl. Yeah, really happy with how she's coming along. Absolutely no indication of any illness whatsoever. She's kind of got more energy than everybody else. Let's see. Yeah, good joke. Yeah, don't get tokays as your first gecko. You will kick yourself, and you'll probably bleed a lot. What did I miss? What did I miss? Did I miss something? What was your first event like where you showed your animals off to the public? What animals did we have? The first one that we did, we had some good animals out there. Aubrey Pruitt brought one of his big Asian water monitors out. We had a cow retic, pretty good sized cow retic. I had my Burmese out. My my boa imperator was out there. We had a tegu, bunch of colubrids and stuff like that. And that went over really well. It was outside, and so we just had an area roped off. The We had a lot of different organizations kind of set up around us too, because it was a festival at one of our national parks out here nearby. So I had Federal Fish and Wildlife was out there, the Science Center, a couple of our local organizations. It was all kind of set up really close, and it went over really well. It was a really good setup. You got every anticipation. This one is going to be a bit bigger than that one. They've got it's going to be a holiday at the museum. They've got two field trip classes coming through, and then of course all of the families that'll be coming through after that for the rest of the afternoon. So it should be a really big event. I'm going to do my best to film some stuff, maybe get some interviews with the staff and some of the people, maybe see if I can get some videos, some people that are touching the animals for the first time, get their impression maybe before and after of interacting with them. Oh, yeah. Christina hates the camera. But she was still the first one that carried me through my first live stream, even as much as she hates the camera. Hey, Bet. Good evening. Yeah, tokays are fun. I've kept a couple tokays before. They didn't like me a whole lot. They didn't like me. It was actually really cool watching Kevin working on socializing the tokay that he had. Yeah, lychees are pretty cool. Yeah, that's probably a pretty good call for right now. You gotta kind of work your way up to that stuff. Oh, awesome. So your first expo is today. Sold some rats. 5 first-time snake holders. Awesome. Let's see. Yeah, I'm missing a bunch of stuff, jumping back and forth and all that stuff. Leopard geckos are really cool. Mine are really personable. They can be a lot of fun. They're so fragile, though. I get used to wrestling a Nile monitor, the big snakes around. I get up here and start messing around with the leopard geckos, and it feels like I'm going to break them. They do not. Let's see. Matt was asking if the folks with the Nile monitors got back to me. Unfortunately, no. They kind of fell off the face of the earth. I guess if I had to guess, I would say they probably found somebody out there local to them or something like that. They'd either agreed to take them or something like that. I don't know. I made it as easy as I could. I gave them the information for Ship Your Reptiles, told them if they needed any help from me to give me a call. And they just kind of fell off the radar, so I'm not going to chase them down. There's going to be plenty of opportunities. It's not going to be too terribly much longer. I want to say maybe, I'm hoping by the springtime we can get into a bigger place. And as soon as that happens, we're going to have a bunch of enclosure build videos because I've got the bigger enclosures for the retics that I want to build. I'm going to keep Niall's enclosure pretty much the same. But I've got a couple enclosures. Once I get the space, I want to get another enclosure real similar to him. I'd like to get an Asian water monitor in there. And I'm going to start looking around to see if I can find one that's not particularly happy. So we can kind of do a socialization, I guess, workshop, kind of like we did with the Sri Lankan. I'd like to do that. So get everybody through that process as well. But so we'll see. We're going to kind of coast over the winter, do what we can. I had to get the new coffee mug too. I couldn't pass it by. I love it. But so yeah, we'll do what we can do over the winter. We'll do a lot of planning and stuff like that. I'm going to draw up some enclosure designs, and whenever we end up getting into the new place, it's going to be on like Donkey Kong. Both the big retics are getting at least 12 by 4 by 6 enclosures, kind of like the stuff that Garrett's got. I'm just going to frame up a couple walls for him, stuff like that. Put some climbing stuff in there for him, and then kind of just start bumping some other animals up into different enclosures. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have room for some more stuff, which means we'll be able to kind of expand the content that we're doing with different animals that we do not currently have right now, which will also be a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think the next year should be pretty well. The next 6 months might be kind of slow, might be kind of quiet, but after that, the following year after that should be pretty exciting. But that being said, too, we are getting more interest in the public education events and people asking about those. So that's those are going to be moving right along as well. So where are you at, and what are you doing? Come on, girl. I had to put her in the tub a little bit ago. I mean, normally you can let them go and they'll just slide right in there and their head will pop out the other side. This girl refused to let go of my hand. I could not get her in there. It was like, God, I don't know what it was like. She was just stuck to me and didn't want to go nowhere. Okay, right. God, she's such a sweet kid. Where are we at? Oh, see, I did it again. I should know better. What's going on, Greg? I get going through this stuff so quick, and I just kind of look at the first names. But mangroves are fun. They're really awesome looking monitors too. That was long time ago. I had one, and that was one of the animals that got rehomed as I was thinning things down because I didn't want 2 monitors, because I knew as they were growing, I just wasn't going to have the space for them. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to enlist y'all's help when we get going, because like I said, I've got a lot of ideas that I want to implement. I'm looking forward to it. It will be nice to finally be able to get things built out the way I want to, and be able to start doing just a little bit more stuff. Croc skinks. I don't have a whole lot of experience with those, honestly. I've seen them before. They look really cool. What's going on, Dave? Good to see you. I put the Bill was asking where I got that mug. I put a little video up on Facebook, and I got it off Amazon. It was stupid expensive for a coffee mug, but I put my Amazon affiliate link up there. So if you want the shortcut to find it, you can click on that, and of course, helps me out too. I really need to start working the Amazon affiliate thing more than I do. I've got all kinds of equipment and shirts and stuff like that I've got off of there that I could use my affiliate link to market through. But it's like, geez, one thing at a time. Actually, it's more like 10 things at a time right now. But I will get to that eventually. But yeah, if you wanna find a coffee mug, flip through my Facebook a little bit, and it's not too far down the list. You'll see the video of it and the link for it. Actually, I guess I could make it really simple and just copy that link down in the video description here too when we get done, if I can remember to do it. Yeah, I'll leave Snake Discovery to do all that stuff. They do really good enclosure build-offs. So I'm one of those people who has a snake wrapped around my arm. I enjoy collaborating with people and things like that. However, I can be a bit of a workhorse. And when I've got a picture in my head of how I want to build something, I just get the tools out and I start going nuts and I get really focused and I just build the thing like in one day. And would you cut me some slack? I'm about to put you back in the tub, crazy noodle. So I don't know that having a bunch of people around, I'd end up turning into my old project manager self and being a jerk, and everybody would go home. All right. Hey, I see Christina's coming on. Let me catch up with the chats a little bit here. And oh yeah, Michigan. I'm in North Carolina here, Bill. Carla, good evening. Happy Saturday. I'm working on managing this crazy animal who is not letting me do this stuff. Oh yeah, tokays are not really good beginner reptiles. Let's go through these real quick. As soon as I catch the end, I'm not going to catch the end of them. Gene, thank you so much. We appreciate it. I was sitting here working today. I had a little cartoon snake, and I couldn't figure out on Premiere how to get it into a transparency and shit so it would jump over and do all the cool stuff for the super chat. But I started on it today. I'll probably spend a little bit of time this evening seeing if I can get it right. But yeah, we appreciate it, Gene. Thank you so much. Jean's awesome. She's been a big supporter for a long time now. All right. I think I've made it to the bottom. Did I miss anything? Okay. All right. Here we come. Christina.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm okay. I hate being on camera, but I did want to let you know I am super excited about our show on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thrilled. The last event that we did was one where, I'm not like a huge crowd person and not a big people person in a lot of ways, but I left there so energized and not drained. Like, I just love education. Is my absolute favorite.
Oh, yeah.
I love watching kids' eyes light up and watching kids be able to help their parents adapt in real time. Because the kids don't have fear yet, and the parents do, and then the parents get to watch their children interact, and then they're like, maybe these things aren't so bad after all. And that is just one of the most warming, beautiful things I think we can do for our animals, being able to educate the mainstream public this way. I am so excited. I am thrilled.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. The museum's really thrilled to have us out too. I wish you guys could have seen how excited they were when I went down for that last meeting.
I'm so grateful. We have, I'm working with the director of UNC Botanical Gardens because she's connected me with the UNC. She's the education liaison for children and family services through the UNC, so that we can potentially have an outlet there for more education. So, I'm all for it. The more that we do this, the better we all get at it, and the more the word spreads. just him, she's all over you. She's so
She is.
sweet.
She's my
I
damn
love
best
it so
friend ever
much.
since I brought her home, man.
I love it
I
so
mean,
much.
she was a little, she was a little downtrodden when she first got here because she was a damn icicle. But yeah, now that she's warmed up and shed and got a couple meals down her, she's gonna be an insane 20-foot snake when she grows up. Hey, easy.
She is, but the way that her behavior is already,
Yeah.
she's going to be an amazing ambassador animal because
yeah.
she's got such a inquisitive and not she's so confident, which is interesting for me coming from the environment that she came from. I'm really amazed at the confidence that she has. So
I was too. I was expecting her to be a lot more. But like I said, from the second I seen her, when I first walked in here and pulled that hide off of her, she was ice cold, and I just pulled her up to my chest, and it was almost a tangible feeling of connection when she did that. It was like her just being, God, thank you, get me the hell out of here. And ever since then, she's just been great.
yeah, that's amazing. She was meant to be with you. She was meant to be with you.
Oh yeah. See, somebody asking if I'd ever get an African. I would get anything.
He's not lying. He would.
Yeah, I would get anything. As I get more room, and if I end up in a position where I can really invite people from the public over and have enough space for people to interact and stuff, and have room for display only stuff, I would even get some venomous stuff. But that's the only reason I would get that, is just to engage people and let them see them. I'm definitely not a venom bro. I don't want to die. Let's see what else we can do.
The only venomous quote unquote that I have is Nettie, my Eastern hog, and that's as venomous as I'm willing to interact with. Oh yes, thank you for the super chat, guys.
Absolutely.
This is amazing.
Carla's
thank you for supporting Tim and all the work that he does.
Yeah, it really does make a huge difference, you guys. It definitely much appreciated. By the time
it helps feed all those monkeys that you have.
Right? Yeah. They especially you.
Speaking of which, I'm so grateful that Bob ate. Oh wow, it took a while, but man.
Well, he didn't eat of his own accord. It took some convincing. That's what I was thinking about, maybe, because he's still attacking him. Every time I put anything in there, if I put it in there on the tongs, it's all defensive strikes. So it's not like he's in a natural, natural fast or anything. That last one, I had to assist feed him.
Gotcha.
Thinking about, I'm going to offer him again this weekend. If he doesn't eat this weekend and he does the same thing, I'm going to give him another week. And then I'm going to offer, and if he still doesn't take next weekend, then I'm going to assist feed again. And we'll just keep doing that about every 2 weeks until he finally says, okay, well, I guess I should stop screwing around and start eating. So.
Well, I mean, but you're able to get him to eat, and while assist feeding isn't desirable for anyone to have to do,
right?
At least he's taking in nutrients, and he will come around.
Yeah, he will. And it's just the weirdest thing with him, because he, he doesn't fight like he used to getting him out of the enclosure. I go in to get him out. He'll wrestle around a little bit, but as soon as I get him out, there's no musk. He's not striking at me. He doesn't even strike at me when I'm trying to get him untied from all the branches and stuff. But just
the fact that he's become more at ease with you doesn't mean that he's at ease enough that he is readily wanting to eat. Because, I mean, you know as well as I do, stress can cause a multitude of different reactions from animals.
Yeah.
And even tolerable stress can be, tough for them to manage. So, I'm just grateful that you're, and I love this, and I know this about you, but for anyone else listening, I'm grateful that you're the person that's willing to put in the work and work with them, not against them.
Oh yeah, yeah. He'll get there sooner or later. He'll get tired of it. I mean, just like Athena did. I mean, it took a couple months with her. And then all of a sudden, as soon as she clicked on, that was it. You can't put enough food in the same room with her. She's growing like a damn weed. But it was the coolest thing. I was watching Kevin put out a video today of a rock python.
Yes, I saw it. Oh, I saw it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of a running joke going around through the house that Donnie's spying on me. Yeah, he'll see something come out, and then he'll be like, "Hey, Kevin, I got a great idea." I'm like, yeah, that'll work. So yeah, that's kind of the running joke around the house. I was like, if I ever really want to see Kevin do something, I'll make a video on it first. Donnie will pick up on it, and then toss the idea to him, and then we get to see Kevin's take on it.
That's hilarious.
I have no idea. That's probably not the case. I'm probably just.
I'm sure not. It's pure coincidence. But these rock pythons are endangered in a lot of ways, and so being able to help people who are capable of caring for them captive, I think that's a great movement, and being able to educate other people about them.
Yeah.
One of my absolute dreams for some of our at-risk species would be to be able to find grants and funding to create F1 captive. So they bring in the not F1s. So they are F1 capture and release. So they bring in pregnant or gravid females, allow them to lay, release the females back where they came from, raise up the babies, sell half of them to the pet trade at a reasonable cost that actually reflects the care that these animals need. Right. They'll also fund the facility that continues to do this, and then turn half of the babies back into the wild. So these animals are actually sustainable, and ecologically it's sustainable for the people in the area. They actually have a desire and a reason to be careful about their population.
Right. Yeah, I mean that would I think there's a lot of species we're eventually gonna have to do something like that with, because I agree. I kind of had a conversation similar along those same lines about prairie dogs earlier. Somebody came in talking about, they're just a pain in the ass, they just kill livestock. And I was like, well, that's a naturally occurring population. It's an integral part of the food chain that you guys are just out slaughtering. Correct. Because they're injuring the excess livestock that you're putting in there for human consumption. I was like, so do you not see where the conflict is there? You go ahead and exterminate all prairie dogs. The reason why they've got such a short lifespan is because they feed everything else. So,
they're not a keystone species, but they're a foundational species to the furthering of the food chain.
Oh yeah, yeah, birds, small mammal predators and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure there's snakes out there big enough to put them down too. So.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I also heard you talking about getting your facility potentially, maybe at some point, getting, a building. That would be, I am thrilled at that concept.
What I want to do is, we're talking about trying to be able to move into a bigger place by spring.
Oh, well, really?
I hope so. Yeah, that's kind of what we're hoping. So, I mean, there's a bunch.
That means more rats for Ruth.
Right? Yeah, that's exactly what it means. I don't even want to sit here and talk about all the mammals that we've been looking at.
Of course,
dude. Anyway,
but Jimmy and I are on our last enclosure build currently. We were working on it today.
Yeah.
So, well, at least for the next couple of years, hopefully, we'll see how that goes. But we have been doing nothing but enclosure builds since the beginning of June.
Yeah.
So it'd be perfect if you guys are ready in spring to start doing enclosure builds, because I will have enough time to forget between now and then just how demanding these things are.
Right. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of logistics kind of changing up, but we want to buy a place. And want to have something set up so that I've got a large enough basement area that I can support some. Yeah, I want to have something at least 3 times the size of what I've got now, and then
that makes sense.
And then I can build on what I need off of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, upstairs, mammals. More of them, I'm sure.
Of course.
But yeah, if everything ends up working out the way I want it to, it should end up being the setup that I want is something that I can comfortably have people just come in, where I've got the reptile area separate from the living area and stuff like that, so I don't have to worry about anybody, walking past my bedroom or anything like that while they come over to. But we're just having a place available for folks to come over.
Well, that would be awesome. Think about the amount of educational things that we could really provide, especially if you have a place to store things that we just don't have, like the big, massive tents that we would need. We wanted to do those like larger outdoor things.
Yeah.
A small generator to be able to keep the animals cool during the summertime, warm, cooler months. It would really open up so many opportunities for us to be able to attend county fairs or different, different local events.
Yeah, I want to have it set up. Eventually, I'd like to have something off of the main reptile room where I've got a hallway, and it's almost like a dog kennel, where you open up the door and it's all enclosed. So you've got a set of different enclosures that you can take the different animals outside and just leave them out there and let them get some sun.
Oh, yes. Basically like a really big patio.
Yes. Yeah, kind of something like that, big play area or something like that. So I've got all kinds of ideas.
Oh, I'm so down for that. So. And I can live vicariously through you. I can help you build the things that I can't have at home because I don't have to pay.
Right.
I'm down for that.
I'll just run electricity to a campsite out on the back 40. anybody who wants to come over can just freaking camp out.
Oh, you can't threaten me with a good time because you have some animals that I can't have at home, and I can't. I don't. We have a very limited amount of space and limited capabilities, but I love to go play with everybody else's baby, which is another one of the things I love about the educational events we do is I get to interact with all these animals from really good friends and keepers that I don't have to keep them in order to have the fun with them.
Yeah, I think this time around I'm probably going to bring Monty, my 16-foot female Motley retake. I'm probably going to bring her. I might bring
She's not been out to an event yet.
No, it's been a long time. I used to take her out all the time out in the public. I take her, showings at the pet stores and stuff. But the last time I did that, she decided to try and shoplift and took a bird feeder and broke it because there's too much damn snake in an aisle in a pet store. So. Thing hits the floor and she turns around and looks at me like, I didn't do nothing. I'm like, okay, let's go.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh my God. She is she's a brat, man, when she wants to be. Sweetest snake in the world. I mean, she's pretty reliable. I would trust her. She doesn't have any anxiety issues. Tigger is the same way. I've had him out with people and kids and all that stuff before. He's just got so much energy that I mean, I will be babysitting him the entire time and doing nothing else.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because he's a retake in its truest form, constantly wanting to roam and see and explore and know and smell and Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he goes absolutely insane. Monty doesn't. She's not as bad. What are you doing? I keep waiting for her to chill out and just lay down for me. She's refusing to.
Are you talking about? Oh, no. She is like, no, absolutely not. Why would I lay down? I'm having a good time.
Really, chick?
Yep, absolutely. She's like, you're done. I'm not.
Right.
Seriously. That's
She's-
amazing. My Rosie, my Rana rat, is the same way.
yeah.
Um, since we've moved her into her like grow out, like full blown upgraded grow out enclosure,
Hmm.
she's pacing the glass every afternoon, and you you don't have to invite her out. You just open the door, and she darts out. She'll fall on the floor. She does not care if there's
Yeah.
anything there for her to climb on. She just goes, and she wants to roam, and she'll spend an hour and a half before I'm like, okay, I'm tired of babysitting you to make sure that you don't run away. You have to go home now.
Yep. Yeah, she's finally decided to chill out in the most awkward position she possibly could.
Well, she's comfortable. It's awkward for you.
She is. She
Yeah.
gets to watch
Clearly,
everything.
she's comfortable.
She gets to watch everything that's going on. Little shit.
This is what we signed up for.
I know, right? Yeah. I just can't wait until she's, give it about 5-6 years from now, man, when she's a monster doing the same thing.
I can see her on her body on the ground with her head still leaned over top of you. Like, what's going on, Jeff?
Right. Exactly.
She's very likely to be that.
What are you doing? Yeah, I was really, really happy with how she's still got that kinky tail, of course.
Yeah, but it's at a point where, I mean, all of her bodily functions are fine. It's not going to harm her. She's still clearly got movement, so there's no necrosis in the tail. I see no reason to do anything about it. So.
Yeah, right now
it's not
fine.
hindering her quality of life in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it's like halfway between her vent and the tip of her tail, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's no big deal. Should be a little crooked.
That's okay. We're all a little crooked.
We are. Man, just like I was sitting here earlier telling Ruth, I was like, I'm sitting here editing this video and I really need to start working on the gut a little bit. Half hour later, there's 3 pies sitting on the counter. Thank you very much. Man, that's like the hardest thing for me to try and do. I've got no self-control with food at all.
Well, as long as your physical health is okay, I don't see the point.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm getting to pretty soon.
It's as long as it's not compromising your physical health, okay. You're clearly capable of wrangling rejects.
God, I don't know, man. I really wish I was in my freaking 30-year-old shape again for this stuff. Had I known that what I was going to be doing at 50 years old was this, then I would have probably been a little bit more careful.
She said, nope. You are her jungle gym.
Come on, man. Let me go. None of my snakes hang on like this. It was the craziest damn thing. She was just like stuck to me earlier. I couldn't get her off to get in the thing. It's like, and this is every single time I handle her too. She just wraps on and just latches on everything. But she's got such a sweet demeanor, man.
She really does. Particularly having been through what she's been through.
Yeah. I'm really happy with her. I'm happy we found her. Oh, I wonder how many of these things I'm gonna have to.
You got to catch up on all the comments.
Yeah, there's not too many right now, so that's okay.
Oh, I have to know, where did you find that snake mug? Because that thing is amazing.
Oh, Amazon, man.
No, really?
Yeah. Just got onto Amazon and typed in snake mug. Ended up finding it. Matter of fact, let me see. I'm gonna post if you ever come on, you. Yeah, somebody else sending me videos now. Where am I at? I've got my affiliate link for it on here.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. That's what I was saying earlier. I really need to start working on getting my Amazon affiliate link out there more. That
You
way
do.
I've got all of the like keeping equipment and housing stuff that I get off Amazon. I need to start linking all of that stuff down there. Okay. Killing my internet because I've got too many things open right now.
Yeah. As a researcher, I always have like 15 to 20 tabs open per internet session, and sometimes or per exploration session, and so often I have like at any given point in time like 40, and then all different levels of Excel and things. And my husband looks at my computer and is like, "Oh my God, I don't know how you can stand it." Like, I have information that I can't find again if I close it out.
Well, that's the worst thing about my job is I've only got my one laptop in the truck, and I'm used to working off of 3 monitors, all freaking wrapped around.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And then you go to work and you've got this tiny little screen. Oh,
of course, my
thing.
job isn't rocket surgery either, so I mean,
neither is mine. Awesome. Yes, Tim dropped the link. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll let me see. I'll pin that up there.
You know I have to have one and take it to work. Because I'm the crazy snake lady. Well,
I'm always skeptical about these things because you order something off Amazon and it's like this cheap $2 friggin'. This thing is heavy. Mm-hmm. It's also really good.
It looks heavy,
clearly, because you hit somebody with this thing, they're gonna go to sleep.
Because if someone broke into your house, they wouldn't be thrown off by like the Nile monitor or the 18-foot snake.
Well, they're in a cage. My goal is to get me a nice big Asian water monitor, kind of like the one Aubrey brought out to the park with us that day, and just let him run around.
Oh gosh, she was amazing.
I want that. So bad. It's such an awesome animal. Love that.
Could not be bothered by anyone. Just the most relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
Did not care about what anybody was doing or saying. Just the sweetest thing. Tried to French kiss you in the ear.
No, that lizard actually did stick his tongue down my throat. Yeah. I mean, because like he was on the sawhorse, and his head was right. I'm like eye to eye, nose to nose with him, and I'm standing there talking to Aubrey, and as soon as my mouth opens, I'm feeling freaking tickling my tonsils with that 2-foot long tongue that he had. I'm like. Much more intimate.
I think I missed that. I think I missed that.
That would have been something really good to catch on camera.
That would have been amazing to have caught on camera.
Yeah. He didn't even bat an eye. He just
he was like, "Wow, that human tastes funny."
Well, he only did it once, so I guess I'm for a lizard.
Oh.
He's sitting up there. This is boring. I'll try anything once.
I'll try anything once. Oh, all of us in our college days. I'll try anything once.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
A bunch of stuff a bunch of times.
I think we could all say things like that. Oh, yeah.
Some stories better left for non-family oriented times.
100%. But getting French kissed by a lizard isn't the worst thing that could happen.
This is true. I've got one animal story that I will never tell in public. But
well, we have to chat about that next time.
First time I've ever heard of it happening. I've never heard of it happen to anybody else. It would be very difficult to explain in different circumstances.
Totally understandable.
Oh, yeah.
We'll chat about that later.
Yeah, I'll have to mention that next time we go. Girl.
She's just being one with you. Look at her. Archie does that with me, and it's just the sweetest thing. He'll just rest right there on my face.
Yeah. She really is.
Particularly knowing that our eyes are something that is largely dangerous to them and knowing that we're seeing them. So when you get them to just lay right there on your face, that is just such an acceptance and a oneness.
Yeah.
Nothing really replaces that security.
Yeah. It's so hard to explain to non-snake people when they talk about how
That's
weird
fair.
it is. It's like, guys, you just don't get it. These things are, once you know what to look for. I'm going to put her back in her tub, and I'm going to run out and fill up my coffee again.
Sounds like a plan.
I really need it. So I guess if you can kind of catch us up on chat and stuff, if you can see it.
I don't know. I don't know if I can see chats because I'm on the thing on my phone, so I don't have chats. But hubby has chats. Bring me up on the chat. I will read them from his phone, and we'll talk.
If I can.
Yeah, do you?
Get her off my. There. She's
attached, Tim. She's just attached.
Anything. Come on, girl. Get in there.
100 bucks off his bucket list.
30 seconds.
So totally went in the gutter. Wow, seems like Tim's one wild animal story is drawing some attention. Does anyone that's listening have any questions or concerns or thoughts about how you might want to integrate what the North Carolina Educational Outreach Group is doing? Is there anything that we can provide you information for about who to get in contact with, or how do you go about these types of events? What things do you need to have in order? These are the types of things that we really want to focus on helping other people do, because we are passionate about what we're doing in our group. But what we would love to see is other people doing the same thing, because there's a lot of you guys who are listening and watching right now who are interested, and I've seen it in the chat. You've shown interest in, like, how do we make this applicable for us? So I invite you all to please, now is a great time to ask questions about who do we reach out to? Who are the people we start with? And what are the things that we need to have? What are the precautions we need to have in order? What are the things that we need to really think about ahead of time? What are the accommodations for the animals or not animals? Can we do education without bringing animals? Because that's also a valid question. And absolutely you can. So please, if you have questions or concerns or thoughts about how do you link up with people in your area that are interested in doing the same thing, please just shoot us questions. Whether you do it here on the live or if you reach out to either one of us individually, please, we would love to see these types of things really take off in different localities throughout, in different sections throughout the U.S. Genuinely, I believe 100% USARC. I'm all about supporting USARC, but I want to really, really emphasize that what we're doing here is the most impactful line of defense for animals. USARC is there to help us keep legislation from getting by. But what we're doing is educating the mainstream public and helping them understand, even if they don't like the animals at the end of the day and they don't have the affection for them that we do, that these animals aren't to be feared, that they're to be respected and understood, that they're thinking, living beings that should be interacted with on that level. And if we can educate the mainstream public to this extent, that they all understand this, then the likelihood of legislation for USARC to intervene, it's going to really cut that down dramatically.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Tim.
and
I
I
didn't mean to
think,
take over the channel.
oh no. I mean, you got started on the stuff that I was intending to talk about anyway. Kind of, that was one of the things I wanted to go over. Talking about things that we need to do to prepare for stuff like this, because we kind of went over what we're doing the last live stream, and I know USARC had a really brief exchange with Phil, and I think he likes to try and distance himself and keep USARC as a separate entity and not tie into too many smaller organizations. And I don't blame him for that, because he's got a lot at stake with USARC. You get one bonehead in the mix, they can cause a big problem. So I
completely agree.
Yeah. And so, I mean, and like we've said in a couple of videos, just kind of like what you said too, is that the more we do things like this, the less USARC has to do. When I was talking, the last time I was down at the museum talking with the director before I left, I told her, I was like, one of the things that we do is we work to impact, animal legislation. When people are making laws and it's not based in science, it's based in, special interests or something like that. I was like, we push to have everything based in a rational, reasonable, science-based regulation of these animals. So I encouraged her. I was like, get a hold of the mayor, get a hold of the city council, get a hold of anybody that could be voting on any kind of animal regulations, and invite them down here so that they can see the animals themselves and they can see. So that way, if somebody puts a proposal on the table that says reticulated pythons are killers and they're deadly and nobody should be able to have them, they're going to remember back to watching their 2, 3, 4, 8-year-old kid petting a snake, and seeing how we interact with them.
Yeah.
And it's going to impact how they vote on it.
So we do have some. So Tim, we do have some questions in the comments. If you want to take a look,
okay.
Nicole wants to know about how to link up with people in, I think that's Minnesota.
Let me see. I guess it's, let's see. I am trying to see where we're at in here. Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, I see it now. That one.
Yeah.
How to link up with people in Minnesota. You can't own reptiles right now.
So I'm on StreamYard on my phone, so I can't go look up, but I'm going to ask hubby to look up herpetological societies in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Because that is going to be your first best bet. Tim and I met each other independently, but we do a lot of work with Rob and Jeremy, who actually started the Carolina Herpetological Society out here. So the North Carolina Educational Outreach Group is just a group of us who kind of found each other, but largely through herpetological societies. That's going to be your best bet at finding other people who are very educational and animal care minded.
Mm-hmm.
That's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tim.
It's the most. No, you're fine. You're fine. No, I mean that's probably the most reliable. You can go onto Facebook and say, "Hey, who's around my area?" And you might get a good person. You might get a friggin' ding dong. It's hard to say.
It is.
And it's, you got to be careful who you link up with, because not all support is good support. Not all new friends are good friends.
Which is another reason why I'm an advocate for herpetological societies, because they generally have outings or meetings that you can go to and just kind of meet people, and you can kind of scope out from there people who are maybe like-minded, people that you mesh with versus people that you don't.
Yeah, the first few people that I actually met in person, I don't associate with anymore.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. My husband's gonna drop Nicole. My husband's gonna drop the link in the chat for the Herpetological Society in Minnesota.
Cool. Let me see. I did see something else come up. Wally's community involvement seems appropriate. Oh no, you're not stepping on any toes at all. I love Wally. Wally's awesome. I've been on the show before. Yeah. What is it? Supreme Gecko?
Yeah. Supreme Gecko, yes.
Yeah, he's a great dude.
And actually, I'm a big advocate for like bioactive and naturalistic enclosures. I do ice pot keeping, spring cells, that. And you cannot. Wally's an amazing resource. Amazing resource.
Yeah, him and his wife are both great people. Love talking.
Yeah, they are.
And they're really about helping everybody out. He's a great resource.
Yes.
Oh yeah. You know, you're going to be hard pressed to find any place where you're working with reptiles. I mean, even with the experience I've got, I couldn't get into the science center or anything like that working with their reptiles because they've got a list a mile long already. And most of them are people that are biologists or biology students or something like that are going to be getting in there long before some old friggin' snake wrangler gets in there. So yeah, I mean, you're pretty much going to be limited to private keepers most of the time. And I tend to keep pet shops out of that equation. I haven't found very many that you would really want to be associated with.
But saying that, I will say, in North Carolina, we don't really have any that I'm aware of reptile or well, we do have one amphibian center, but we don't really have a reptile centered pet shop that will actually be able to offer you a lot of relevant care information, much less hands-on.
Yeah, we've got one that I know of in central North Carolina, but I would never recommend it to anybody. One of the first people that I had met out here that I no longer associate with. So, which is one of the reasons why I've really been really excited about the concept of being able to open something else up and just have it.
I agree. I will say we have, as far as amphibians, things of that nature, Frog Daddy out of Charlotte, Alex down there, love him to bits, work with him a lot, super knowledgeable, but very centered around amphibians.
That's cool. Yeah, and it's the cool thing about this is that you can get online and you can talk to just about anybody. So
yes, you can. And Betty, you're right. Oh, Betty, what you were saying about people coming in and they're scared or skittish to start with, and watching them warm up and watching them like light up. I love to have people go, wait, like this animal's like watching me. I'm like, yes, it is. Isn't that amazing? And seeing that reciprocal, like I'm in love because they're learning for the first time. And watching them learn while the animal's learning to read them, it's amazing. It feeds me like nothing else on this planet does.
Yeah, that's Greg, by the way. That's his wife. He's on there. So that's Greg Bowman.
Oh, sorry. Well, Greg.
That's okay. I called him Betty too the first time he came up, and he does it every time that comes up. I say, "Hey, Betty," and then he's like, "It's me." I'm like, my bad.
Sorry about it, Greg.
He's a good dude. He's out in Utah.
I just saw that comment, and he's out in Utah too? No way.
Yeah, he's one of Wes's friends. I met him up at Abby's place right before Retake Fest.
Gotcha.
Yeah, really good dude. Let's see. For goodness snakes. I know that name, and I know I've seen it. It's just I don't think I've even heard of it, but I will check it out.
Yeah,
God, I'm trying to remember who that was, but I'd have to go back and look. My mind has kind of been in a blender here lately with all the stuff that's been going on.
Oh, Laura's asking about exotic pets. Okay, so there's different ways to find exotic pets. I cannot remember the acronym that Erica came up with. Sorry if you see me looking off screen. It's my husband. Erica. Sorry. I'm just saying Erica like everyone knows her. McVeigh helped build this. It's a society or a group where even vets that aren't necessarily specialized in the animals that you have, but they're all associated with exotic keeping, vet keeping. Keep their vets for exotic keeping. Sorry. And it's a network where if they don't have experience with the animal that you have, they will reach out to another vet in this network to be able to get the information. And I am going to ask Hubby to drop that link for that resource. It's also listed by state and location in the link. I mean, in the chat. Because having a reliable exotic vet that you can trust is key. It's something I would recommend for anyone who is keeping. You should have that relationship before you need it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean,
sorry.
No, you're right. You're right. I mean, it's just like if you start having a heart attack, you don't want to start looking around going, okay, hell, which hospital can I go to that deals with heart attacks if only 1 out of 10 of them do?
Correct.
Drive
yeah.
around to 5 of them, and the first 5 don't. You might as well just friggin' stop and die.
Yes.
Same thing with your animal.
You want to know which hospital? Yeah, you want to know which hospital has a cardiovascular unit, and you want to know which veterinary offices have the capability of either knowing offhand how to work with your animal, or are dedicated to finding someone who can help them understand if they don't have that knowledge, versus someone that just is going to tell you, this is my best guess, here, good luck.
You hear so much bad.
Which I have. I've heard way too many horror stories. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you hear too much bad advice from human doctors, let alone vets.
Fair. It's also why I believe in being your own advocate.
Halfway through medic school in the Army, they would do emergency room rotations, and there would always be somebody coming back with a story of how they kept a resident from killing somebody.
Oh, that's yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because somebody's got their head up their ass.
Or they literally do not know, which is also scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you know what they call a doctor that graduated with a C-.
Still a doctor.
Yep. Oh, man. So I know a couple of things that I've got to get done here over the next couple of days is kind of going back to, for those folks that are considering doing some public education stuff like this. First thing you got to know when you're getting ready to move out is what the local laws are on transporting your animals.
100%.
There's a 90% chance that if you get pulled over with the animals in your car and they're not properly tagged and locked, the cop's not going to know any better. He's not going to say a freaking word. He's going to say, don't open the box, get the hell out of here, your ticket. There's 10% chance they're going to be like, oh, this is against regs. You're supposed to have this labeled and locked, and we're getting ready to call animal control out here and take your shit. For those of us that move these, you know, you got to have your containers locked and labeled with what's in there. Every state, I'm sure, jurisdiction's got different labeling requirements. It's real easy to do. It's not that bad. I keep a book on hand of all of the animals that I have here, all the different species with little fact sheets and stuff like that in them. So I'll have that out there too. Now, I'm not going to have every species that's out there. I don't even think that we're required to have a fact sheet necessarily. They just got
not in our state. Not in our state. We're not. But I do know, because Nettie is a rear fang venomous. She is still considered vitamins. So in order to transport her in our state, she has to be in 2 containers. I can't just carry her in a container. She has to be in a locked container inside of a locked container.
Yeah.
Those are things that I have to know if I'm going to take her out. And one of the big reasons why we have her is because she is a native North Carolina species. And we want to be able to utilize that. And she's a great program animal. She's a super sweetheart.
Yeah.
But those are things that I have to know, and those are extra precautions I have to take with her versus my other animals.
Yeah.
So I think that's what you're referring to as like, know your laws. Because no matter how well intended you are, if you're doing an event and any level of law enforcement shows up and you are not abiding by those, not only are your animals at risk and you're at risk, but so is your outreach is now at risk. And everything that you're trying to do can actually backfire incredibly bad.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know a lot of people have got a natural instinct of not wanting to go to law enforcement because they automatically think they're going to be in trouble. But when you're dealing with animals, if you can go out and make contact and develop that relationship with animal control ahead of time, not only does it make your life easier, they appreciate it that much more because they don't have people calling them saying, hey, there's somebody out here with a giant snake, come get them. You know, they already know ahead of time what's going on and they can deal with it. I've had nothing but great experiences with animal control out here.
Yes, absolutely. We have. Our whole group has.
Yeah.
Great interactions with our local parks and rec, and that's with different locations because Tim and I aren't in the same location. We're about an hour apart from each other. But working with our local like parks and rec and our local rangers and wildlife enforcement has actually not been hard at all. They've been really receptive.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as you're transparent and you show that you're doing the right thing, man, these guys out here, they just want to come to work, clock their hours and go home. You know, they don't want the extra headaches. So as long as we're
in a lot of ways, I think that what I have encountered is that they're kind of relieved that someone else is kind of taking on the burden of their job. They're like, wow, it's nice to know that there's someone else out here educating people. Like, please don't kill things that don't need to be.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's been really good. So that's one thing for anybody else that's thinking about doing this stuff. I guess if I had to do like a really quick 30-second synopsis of if you're going to go out and do a public education thing, first, you need to make sure that you're 115% competent with your animals, that you are completely sure that you're getting something out there that's not going to hurt anybody. Take the safety of the community first, the safety of your animals. You go out, you make connections with people like park directors and stuff like that, and just talk to them. Say, hey, I got some animals. You guys want to see them? And you'd be surprised if you're doing everything right and you've got, a couple people out there to help you. A lot of people are really receptive to that because there's not a lot of people that do it responsibly. So, yeah, the main thing.
Couple things I want to.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Tim.
No, go ahead.
A couple things I want to point out about when you're talking about linking up with other people and knowing that they are responsible about education. It's not like we all just trusted everyone to start with. We've all kind of had to like come in and see how things go and then make adjustments from there. But there are things that you want to look for, like when you are allowing the public to interact with an animal that's not 18 feet, something that can be handheld. So I always keep the head of the animal inside my hand. My animals are program animals. They are very human friendly, but just on the off chance that they're going to bite something, in case they get frustrated because they've been out there for 6 hours interacting with people, their head's in my hand because if they're going to bite something, it's going to be me. And those are the types of things that you want to look for. Working with people that that go, hey, listen, this animal of mine is looking a little weird, a little wonky. I'm going to remove this one from the rotation of handling right now because I can read my animal. And these are things that you want to know from people that you're working with before you bring them out to interact with the public.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, once we get up to about 5 hours or so, everybody's got to, they've got to kind of combine efforts to keep me from biting people. So I ain't got to worry about the freaking animal. Yeah, 4 or 5 hours around human beings, man. And I'm like, I like go home with my snakes.
You're not wrong there. I think that's all of us, actually. We're all burnt out.
I like people. I really do. This is the bad part because I like 80% of people, but it's the 20% that makes me want to completely seal myself off from society. So
100%. 100%. Also, speaking of which, you were talking about that you're like posting and stuff may dwindle down for a little bit while you're working on enclosures and different things that you're working on. I just want to remind others, not just your viewers, but just other people. I think this is for my own mental health. I tend to ruminate just like my animals would, my colubrids would. I kind of take the winter months to retreat from all of the excess of human interaction and just kind of recoup. So there's nothing wrong with that. Our animals do it. Not necessarily a bad thing if we choose to brumate ourselves for a bit.
Got to take care of ourselves before we're any good to anybody else. That's just the way it's always
100%.
Eric was mentioning about the rear fang venom. I know some places make the distinction between medically significant and medically insignificant. Some places do, some places don't. Of course, hognose count as medically insignificant. And Jordan's here.
They do, but in my hi Jordan, my brother, I love you.
Hey.
Hognose are still venomous. Rear fang venomous is venomous, and that's I just operate underneath those laws.
Yeah, some people or some jurisdictions make that distinction, some don't, but it's always best to err on the side of caution.
Yes, so in my county, I'm allowed to have them because they're rear fang venomous, and I have talked very exclusively with my county commissioners about this to make sure that is clear. Because I can't lose any of my babies; they're like my children. But just to be on the safe side, when we are traveling across North Carolina because sometimes we're 3 hours away from an event, I would much rather make sure that I am abiding by everyone's laws and making sure that there's no room for error. Is that Ruth or is that a baby you're looking at?
That's a baby. Well, Jordan's here. I got to show him his girl.
Yes. Let's see Chloe.
That was Chloe that was out. This is Mazikeen.
Oh, Mazikeen. Wait. Why did I? That is true. That's how Chloe got her name is from Mazikeen. My bad.
This is Jordan's girl, who is slow down for the camera. She was hiding there. She's a pumpkin.
Look at that goober. Oh, she's so sweet. God, I remember when Archie was that little. Aw, hi, baby.
Look at her. Oh, camera's almost trying to get it right.
Look at her. She's so sweet. So we have a question from Nicole that my husband just pointed out. Something about if you're allergic to bee stings, you'll also be allergic to hognose bites. And that is not true. They have very different. No, that is very different. But you can have an anaphylactic response to a hognose bite the same way that you can have to a bee sting.
Right.
So being allergic to bee stings does not mean that you will also be allergic to a hognose bite. However, the response,
they're different compounds.
you can
but
have
you can have a react to each of them. Yeah.
Correct. Yes, you can have an anaphylactic response to either or, but I mean, yes, essentially.
Yeah, I've heard of people taking hog nose bites and getting itchy and stuff like that, and noticing it, but more often than not.
But it's more often than not, it's not an issue. However, for someone that does have an anaphylactic response, it is not something that should ever be treated like it can't happen.
Right.
I think look at that face. You wonder why they're in your face and up your eyeballs, Tim. I mean, what are you teaching them right now?
I'm teaching you to stay in my
face. I know. I'm pointing it out because my husband says this. I'm pointing it out because my husband says this to me all the time. Because I'm like, why do you always lick my eyeballs and my nose and my mouth? And he's like, well, I wonder why.
It's really fun when Tigger and Monty do it, when they crawl up around my shoulders or something and their eye digs into my. They're like poking me in the teeth. She's been all over the place, of course, because they're getting ready to eat tomorrow. I guess I'm gonna have to get Bob out before we go too. See if he's gonna take out.
Oh no! You know how Bob? Yeah, you know Bob hates the mic.
Well, he's gonna have to learn to like it, just like he's gonna have to learn to like everything else.
Oh God. Well, here's hoping he doesn't kiss your cheek this time.
Yeah, that was really funny.
No, actually, that was adorable. That was adorable. The way you looked at him like, damn it. And he was like, well. I laughed so hard because I've been there.
Yeah, I thought we was okay, but we are.
I do gotta.
This thing. I mean, it's still got his spit on it, I think.
He just has a thing about the mic.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. But yeah, he'll have
it's just his thing. I do got to get off of here. I love you, friend. And this has been fun. Thank you, everyone in the chats. Please, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. What Tim is doing is something I avidly support.
Cool. So. And you have from beginning. Last time.
Absolutely, always will.
First time we did this, you couldn't even hardly hear it because I had the echo so bad, but it's getting better.
Fair enough. It was my first time on camera, period. You were the first person I ever got on camera for, so.
That's awesome.
All right. Thanks, everyone. I'm out. Bye.
I'm going to go ahead and get Bob out really quick. So.
Sounds like a plan.
I think we're all caught up in the chat. For right now, let's see. Yeah. Bob, he's like a, what's this? Let's say. Yeah, I don't ever worry about any of my retics biting me like that. Once they come out and they're thinking, they're so comfortable. I don't even worry about them. But let me see if I can get him out of there without too much hassle. But I know. Come on, I'll fill up with this. Get off the plants. Come on. Would you let go of that? Okay. As soon as he sees the microphone, he tightens up a little bit. Okay, but see, I mean, I'm still really happy with how he's doing because I'll go in there and I'm trying to wind him off of the plants and the branches and all that stuff. And, bites. Such a good boy. Yeah, that one that Kevin was working today was gorgeous. But that would have been a lot more. It was a little bit bigger than old Bob here. That would have been a different series had Bob been as big as that one. Right. You see this? You see that? Everybody loves you. So that means you can chill the hell out and cheer up. Okay? Oh, where are we at? Oh, we love Christine. I'll tell you what, man, Christine is always, anytime I've ever needed her, she has always been there. So, and we've managed. I think she's been at almost everything that we've done too. Just so helpful in all of this stuff that we're setting up. She's my voice of reason sometimes when I'm talking about doing something stupid, which I'm not above doing, which I've done before. So, I've kind of got the fan blowing in my eyes too. It's drying out my contacts. I don't mean to yawn. I'm not tired. I'm trying to wet my eyes down a little bit because it does get a little bit warm in here. I swear, I'm one of those people who likes the temperature to be about 69 degrees in the house. And between the reptile room with all the heaters and the office with my damn supercomputer over there that raises the temperature 10 degrees in here, I am absolutely always too hot in this house. Oh, where are we at? Mm-hmm. Yep. That's yes. Christina and James are both awesome folks. Definitely looking forward to this. This is going to be so much fun at this museum next week. Cannot wait to get out there. Trying to think. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, if anybody's trying to set up some of this public education stuff, it's a lot of fun. It's so much easier than you may think it is. But come on, people. It's another thing. I can't wait to get out in the boondocks. Yeah, Bob's doing pretty good. He's ready to strike, and he's hissing a little bit, but he'll chill out. I know he's going to try and pop me in the friggin' face again. Come on, bud. Come on. We're not doing this. We're not doing it again. Come on. Get away from the mic. Trying to get him to lighten up and let go of my hand. He's really got a death grip on there. So, it just means he's so focused on everything that he's still kind of locked up. But there. It seems like he's relaxing a little bit now. But yeah, if you're one of those folks that's getting ready or wants to start doing this stuff, just hit me up. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you've got about it. Like I said, the big things is you just need to make sure that you've got healthy animals that are well socialized and you're 100% sure. Can't be 100% sure of anything, but you need to be reasonably sure that they're going to be fine around other people. Like I would not put Niles on a leash and take him out because he would end up tail whipping some little kid and I'd get in trouble and the little kid's head would go rolling across the room. because he's just not an animal that I can take out in public like that. Um, and you've got to make what we do is we'll set everything up. We'll go out. We'll take all the staff and attendees and stuff, pull them off to the side, give them a briefing. I don't sugarcoat anything. It's like, these animals all have heads. They can all bite you. You can't walk up and stick your hand in its face or you might get bit. And get that stuff out of the way and just, make sure that people know to make eye contact with the person holding the animal so that they see you there when you approach, so you're not sneaking up behind somebody. Because a really good way for an accident to happen is if somebody's got, if you're holding a 16-foot snake and you don't know somebody's coming up behind you and you're trying to maintain control of that animal's head and you turn around, you could be putting that animal's head right into that person's face, not knowing it. So you make people aware of stuff like that, and you try and set your space up so that you've always got your back to a wall, nobody can come up behind you, and all that neat stuff. And it's all kind of stuff that you do second nature and unconsciously with some practice. So it's not as easy, or it's not as difficult as it may seem. But there's a different way you've got to handle your animals when you're trying to teach somebody or when you're trying to just show those animals to somebody. And I do have, I'd have to look at it. If you total up all the numbers on my insurance policy, it's like $3.5 million. I'd have to look through it to see exactly what it is. There's like $1 million for this, $1 million for that, $2 million for this, or whatever it is. But yeah, call an insurance agency, get like a public exhibition insurance policy and stuff like that. You can. Not everybody's going to ask you for it. It's good to have the bigger venues that you do. You will need it because people will ask you for it. So make sure you're getting in contact with the insurance company. It's not that much, but it will definitely go a long ways towards covering your butt. Let's see. What else we got here? Cole says Bob wants to give me. He does. Bob, he's sitting here just like. Yeah, camera. He's sitting here just like this. That's not his relaxed pose. Fortunately, he's too far to get me in the face. Fool me once. I mean, you're not going to fool me twice. You can go ahead and try. But you really need to just relax. You going to chill? Oh, this poor kid. See, he's giving me mixed signals too because he's kind of doing them nice, slow tongue flicks, but he's ready to pop me in the grill, which they're not really slow tongue flicks. They're more like, I'm getting ready to bite you. But yes, filmed. I am going to do my level best to film as much as I can out there. You always got to kind of be careful with kids around and stuff like that as far as what you can film and what you put on. But this is a museum. It's a public space. We should be okay. I'm going to ask the folks out there at the museum specifically. And worst case scenario is maybe have a corner set up where we can kind of maybe interview people who are handling animals for the first time. And stuff like that. I really want to start recording this stuff because I'm terrible. Once I get into public, I'm terrible about getting my damn camera out for anything because I'm too in the moment interacting with the people to do all that stuff. Get out of there. Crawling on my sleeve now. Get out of there. It's going to end up friggin' biting my nipple off on camera this time. Now you're in my coffee cup. Get out of my shirt. Goofball. What are you doing? You just bite the mic and get it out of your system. I guess this is good. Is this good? Are you just like having a bunch of energy too? I swear they're like 2-year-olds. But yeah, we're definitely going to do my best to get some of this stuff filmed out there. Yeah, I know. That's kind of the same way it was out there at Garrett's place when we went up for Retic Fest. I didn't film a whole lot. I was like, hey, man, did you guys, send me some video? And it was really, really unfortunate that nobody got any video of me wrestling Karma down out of the rafters. That was a lot of fun. I wish somebody would have got that on video. And I didn't even think to ask anybody to record it because there was some drunk guy down there yelling, and I was too busy trying to tell shut up while I was trying to get the snake down. It was towards the end of the night. Oh, let's see. You guys are talking. That's you guys. He does have a sweet face. And it's got a whole bunch of teeth in it. Yeah, Bob hasn't mussed on me in a long time. It's been, I think the last time he did was probably like one of the last episodes in the series. But he does pretty good. I guess I'm going to let him hang out here and see how he does. He doesn't seem to be so stressed out by the mic anymore. But I do need to replace these chairs. There's 2 holes right underneath the headrest on these chairs. And every snake that I bring up here ends up deciding it wants to get stuck in there. Here we go. Now I'm going to get strangulated on video. Oh, what else is coming up that I can touch on real quick? What else did I forget about setting up these shows? I know there's something. What are you doing? There he goes. Now he's back to his nice and cool and up. There he goes. Is he gonna bite me again? Is he gonna do it? Or are you just gonna keep going around the back of my neck? There you go. Yeah, by the time we can get Aubrey out to another show and get him out here, he's going to not recognize this animal at all. Oh, where are we at here? Yeah, blue beauties are awesome. I love those. Carla has always got her snakes out. Always tell a good keeper because they've always got a snake out doing something. Did you find a place to land already, bud? Oh yeah. Yeah, for those of you that aren't reading, Nicole says Bob probably smells the other snake I had out. So that'll be cool. Maybe he'll try mating with my nose or something. we'll start go watch him. Yeah, he is doing really good. I will, if I end up having to assist feed him again, I think I'm going to film it and put it on the Patreon. So it won't be this weekend. I'm going to offer him. If he starts taking this weekend, awesome. It's a moot point. Won't have to worry about it. Next weekend, if he doesn't take, then I will probably assist feed him next weekend. And if I do that, then I'll put it on the Patreon so that those folks can kind of see how I do it. That's just one of those things. I'm really hesitant of putting it out there for everybody. You get some of these people that they're kind of half-assed into animals, and you can really hurt them if you try assist feeding and you don't really know what you're doing. Yes, he does. He's all full of energy. Hey, thank you very much, Erica. Appreciate it. Any plans on doing a video on how to get into educational events? Yeah, absolutely. I've talked about it a little bit, kind of as a side topic on some of the videos that I've done. And of course, you guys everybody's more than welcome to catch me on Facebook, Instagram. It's easier on Facebook, I think, with any questions about getting started. But kind of the way I look at it, the main thing about these reptile education events is it's kind of tough to do it by yourself. The very first one that I was going to do, I started planning it just for myself. I was going to go down and set up, bring one snake with me and hang out, let people see it. And it really quickly, as I was talking with park supervisors and stuff, really quickly evolved into a lot of other people getting involved in it. And I prefer to do it that way. One, a lot more people means that you're going to have a lot more animals. It's going to be a better event. You get to get the good people in the community, get them out into the community and promote it as well, which, we definitely need. Even the folks that aren't doing breeding and stuff like that. I mean, people need to be familiar with who the responsible keepers are, because the responsible keepers and the good educators and stuff are the ones that are going to be the most help for the new people. But kind of going the long way around answering that question, I guess. But, if you find even a small group of 3 or 4 people that you trust, that are experienced keepers, and just start talking with people, it's not hard to do. I try and make it as easy as humanly possible for everybody. So once I start going back and forth with a facility or something, I try and get everything set up ahead of time so that everybody that's contributing their time, taking time off work, contributing their gas, driving an hour or 2 hours out to the event, all they've got to do is drive up, unload their animals, and just hang out and start talking to people. It's not too terribly difficult to do. The bigger venues will definitely make it a lot easier too. They've got tables available, chairs, all that other stuff. They've got staff on hand to help with things. So it's not too terribly difficult. But I guess it'd probably be a good idea for me to go ahead and outline kind of the steps that I use to set them up, and maybe make a video on that. Oh, coming down a stream. I missed whatever that was a remark to, but I'm sure it probably had something to do with an animal's bowel movement. All right, it's okay, Greg. Sunday's my my feeding day. well, not feeding my big guys until next weekend. Hey, for me, and I don't know how, I don't know specifically exactly what you're talking about there with cold calling and stuff like that. Mine came up just kind of picking a venue that I thought would be good, that kind of had something to do with an educational facility of some sort, and just talking to them, asking if I can have my animals out there and just be available to the public if they wanted to come out and talk. And everybody's like, "Oh, okay, cool." So it started off really simple, and then kind of word spreads that, hey, this was a cool event, and then more people start contacting you. But and I'll have to formulate, like I said, I'll have to formulate a more concise discussion that can really help folks get started with stuff like that. Yeah, we'll do it. Because I mean, I can sit here and talk all. I can sit here and talk for 4 freaking hours and just bump my gums about stuff, and because we're human beings, none of us will remember any more than 20% of it. So I'll have to put something together. Oh yeah, Bob is he's definitely there. We just got to get him over the hump of eating on his own. But yeah, as far as everything else goes, I think he's pretty good. Are you not like gonna say hi to everybody? Are we camera shy now? Yeah, jump up there and say hi. He's a good boy. I love my big snakes, but I'm really learning to have a lot more appreciation for the small ones. Don't tear my back up. Oh, where am I at? Yeah, there we go. Wow, wow. Well, he does. He does hang out in the coolest areas of his enclosure. Maybe that's why. Maybe you're used to a little bit cooler climate. I'm gonna hold him over here. Hopefully, he doesn't still get stressed out by the microphone. Too funny. Yeah. Yeah, Christine's right. I mean, anytime you're doing anything with the public, you got to have thick skin. But the easiest thing to do is to let people get to know you. And the easiest way to do that is to not ask anything of them. Like I said, that's why asking for something like, hey, can I just do this in this corner of the park and fence it off, and we just want to bring our animals out here. More often than not, they're going to be like, yeah, you're fine. Just go out there. Or just say, hey, we just want to let you guys know that we're having some of our animals out here at the park and they're going to be getting exercise. We're going to have roped off. Nobody's going to be, and you'll be fine. And through the course of that, people will come up, they'll look at them, they'll talk about them. Park staff may come out there and look at them and everything. And you just start to build the relationships with people. I mean, it's really not too hard. because you've got a real interesting animal there. Yeah, you got some animals that people don't see all the time. And as long as you're professional and personable, you're out there making friends. And it's not really too hard to get started. But you do have to get to know people and let them get to know you and let them know that you're responsible and let them trust you a little bit. And once they know that they can trust you, it will grow. It takes a little time. I mean, the first year we did it, I think I did like a 1, and plus went to a couple other places, and it was like 2 the next year. So it's just like everything else, even with the YouTube channel and everything else. I'm just letting everything slow grow at its own pace. Um, not trying to rush anything, not trying to get ahead of ourselves or make it stressful or anything like that. I'm just kind of enjoying slowly easing into all of the stuff that we do. And it's not bad at all. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Greg's got a good point. If you're afraid of waste products, a retic is not right for you. And it's not too bad. A lot of times they'll keep it all kind of contained in one spot. Monty does that a lot. She'll just crap in the corner and then move to the other side of the enclosure. But if you happen to catch them around shed time or something like that, and that just happens to coincide with when they're, yeah, you just expect the whole thing to be painted with poo. Yep. And especially if you feed something like fowl, birds and stuff like that, expect it to be twice as bad. Nice. Erica said when she first got hers out, her retic just, man, Monty, my female, she did that all the time for like 6 months. I'd take her out and she'd hang out for a little while, and then she would just open up down my back, down my front. It didn't matter. I had her out on my bed one time. That's all it took. I learned that lesson really quick. Um, and then all of a sudden she just stopped, which I was pretty happy about because I got really tired of cleaning up after her. Oddly enough, my male, now that I think about it, I don't think he has ever done that. I don't think he's ever peed on me once. So I know mine's typically a week or so. It'd be a little bit different. Snake's metabolism and stuff like that, but yeah, mine's roughly a week. Yeah, I'd like to start setting up some stuff. Again, this all ties in. Greg was saying about being at one of the events at some point, which would be really awesome. Um, like I said, when I get to the point where I'm doing this stuff full time, I'll start doing out of state stuff as well. We've got all kinds of stuff that we'd like to start doing. And I'd like to have some bigger stuff set up here. We've got the science center out here is a pretty big deal, and they've got like Science Week, April of next year. So I'm going to talk to them about getting set up out there too. So that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, I know. Like I said, I keep trying to lose weight. Jean said she loves a chubby face. I'm still getting used to the chubby face, but every time I try and get rid of it, Ruth brings home pies and cookies and stuff, and knowing I have no food control, no self-control when it comes to food. I know you're talking about the snake. I'm being a wise ass. He does have really cool. I can't wait for him to get bigger. He's going to be a gorgeous animal. All right. I've seen some people get really jacked up before. I'm talking like 16-foot snake over their head, letting loose with a gallon. Just it was terrible. I didn't feel bad for him. I laughed my ass off because it could happen to anybody. But it was a lot. Yeah. Yeah, they were talking about how long between bowel movements. Like I said, my big ones, it varies. Oh, Bob makes me happy. Where are we at here? Hello. Okay. Let's see if everybody can still see me here. Ha, it's on. I don't see any video on there though. That's weird. It's showing up on. Weird. Weird. Go ahead and just refresh that. Aha! There we go. Man, so you guys hung out. I figured everybody was going to be like, cool, finally. He quit talking. Yeah, Christine, I had to hang up on you because I didn't want to be talking on the phone when I came back on. Yeah, internet went down for a second. I just had to fix it and get back at it. So. Let's see what I missed. Let's see. Hey, how you doing? I don't know if you got here before or after the drop, so we'll see if you're still. Yep, that's my ringtone. My phone growls at me. Let's see. Ugh, 2 hours left at work. Okay, cool. Yeah, that was. I had to refresh because I keep StreamYard up on here, but I keep YouTube and the stream up on my other monitor so that I can see if anything looks weird and stuff like that, or weirder than usual. Yeah, I put Bob back. Where did he go? Oh. Yeah, he went back to his hide. So that's good. He'll be good and warm tomorrow. Maybe he'll be really motivated to eat. That's awesome. That's so cool you guys stuck around. Yeah, I love that ringtone. The one I had on it before, I used to keep the Halloween theme song on it. But that was a few years ago. The general contractor that I had worked with a while back, we'd be like alone in an old house or something looking at renovation work, and my Halloween theme song ringtone would go off and he'd get all creeped out. I called him a puss and changed my ringtone. Oh yeah, man. I'll tell you what, that you cannot. I'm so fortunate in that respect because you cannot have a bad day going through and just like looking through comments from the community, man. You guys are awesome. You all rock. Some great people. And I talk about hating people, which, like I said, I generally do. But there's a small portion of people that I've run into, especially the folks that hang out here, that are just good folks. And it reminds me that the bad part's only about 20-30% that I just need to stay completely away from. But that's awesome. We appreciate that, G. That would be cool. I could do the Jurassic Park thing. Let's see. All right, so since everybody hung out here, I'm going to run back out and fill up my coffee again really quick. So hang out for about another 30 seconds. I'll be right back. wasn't much left. I had to enlist help to make some more. Let's see. Who haven't we had out for a while? Ramsey's sitting back there looking all cute like he wants to do something. Maybe we'll get him out for a second. Hey, bud. You gonna try really hard not to bite me? You are so on point. Oh, look at it. We're not eating. We're not eating. Okay. Let this guy hang out for a little while. And out because the text always. Come up with crazy ass. These guys, for you guys that don't have like the smaller green tree pythons, you gotta be kind of careful with them because they're fragile. Got that little tiny tail that they typically have wrapped around whatever they're perched on. But again, getting close to feeding day. This one right here is a chow hound. This one's never refused a meal for me at all, ever. And look at the friggin' muscles on the top of her head. God. Talk about. I mean, she looks like she's got encephalitis, but she doesn't. Those are friggin' muscles. They're just such awesome snakes. Yeah, right. You're a pretty boy, and you know it. Let's see. Here, hang on. You gonna let go of my fingers so I can run the mouse? Get here. Oh yeah, I would at least anytime the internet. I mean, it does periodically out here go out, but anytime it does, it's typically not for very long. Just kind of like a flash, and I'll always come back on at the very least just to see if anybody's still on and say, "Hey, man, sorry, internet died." Oh yeah. Yes, he's another one. It's a really good boy. I think I'm going to bring him out to the event with us. I need to change up the latch on his enclosure though. It's too easy to get into it, and I don't want some kid going over and popping the latch while my head's turned or something like that. Oh yeah, he's a good boy. Let's see. Oh yeah, he's definitely mellow. He's never. Well, there was one time I got too close to him before I really tapped down his food response, and he took a swing at me. He missed, but yeah, he's really mellow. He'll hang out forever. Yeah, Gene, that's my problem. I think what it is I spent so many years of my life doing shit that had my metabolism so high. I was so athletic, and when you're doing that much, you've got to just drop calories down your neck like there's no tomorrow. And I quit the activity and kept up with the calories. So I'm really trying to be cognizant of that. I'm thinking here in the next couple months, I might actually seriously start getting myself mentally prepared for a diet or something. And then see, I've just got Greg and my girl over here, Ruth, with the pies, and it's an uphill battle. All right, Christina. I know I'm probably far behind on these things, but good night. And if you're still listening, I'll touch base with everybody here in about the middle of next week. We're going to have so much fun. This is going to be a really cool show. Cannot wait. Hey, Lee. Yeah, it's a green tree python. It's an Aru locality. And probably one of the most well-behaved that you'll see anywhere. I'm a sucker for Taco Bell. We had a pot roast in a crock pot that I've been trying to decimate slowly over the last couple days. But, of course, spent some time out there earlier looking at food porn. And I seen something that was a graham cracker crust cheesecake with pumpkin pie stuff on top of that and caramelized pecans on top of it. And I about lost it. So now we've got 3 different pies in there. Oh, yeah. Anytime you get anything in a crock pot, it's always better the next day. And the next day, it's better than that. So. This is Ramsey's. He wasn't a rescue. He was just one that I had adopted from somebody who was trying to find a home for his animals. Yeah, I was kind of wondering where that was going, but I wasn't going to say anything. Oh, damn. That'll be nice. That'll be awesome. Yeah, you're getting. I think now that Jordan's got that first clutch up and out of the way, and he's kind of popped his breeding cherry, he's going to be putting out some pretty good stuff. I can't wait to see what clutches he comes up with here over the course of the next couple of years. Going to end up giving some people a run for their money, I'm sure. Are rainbow boas small anacondas or are anacondas big boas? Clint asked that question. Well, anacondas are boas and rainbow boas are boas. And one's small and one's large. So in my natural trying to keep things simple fashion, I'm going to say that both of those are correct. Rainbow boas are small boas and anacondas are big boas. But rainbow boas aren't anacondas. Because anacondas are boas. Rainbow boas are boas, but they're both different. There's the rainbows and there's the anacondas, and they both fall under the umbrella of boas. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll tear up some cheesecakes. Tear up some apple pie too. Yeah, pumpkin pie, pumpkin pecan, yep. Yeah, those sunfire snows are going to be freaking amazing. Cannot wait to see that. Yeah, we're showing our age there. What the hell is his name? Mutual of Omaha's Carlin Perkins. Yeah. Used to watch that all the time when I was a kid. Would you like just hang out someplace for a second? It's the only bad part about having the animals out like so close to feeding time, because I think they're all in hunting mode right now and they won't sit still. Are you the only one that doesn't like beef stew? See, I just can't respect not liking beef stew out of the crock pot. That's perfect, especially in the wintertime. Yeah, that's one thing that I'm really looking forward to too when I get more space, is being able to actually get an anaconda set up, established. Yep. Hi, Jordan. Good to see you, buddy. Getting ready to run here pretty soon too. I just really wanted to make sure that I didn't leave anybody hanging when my internet went up the creek. Buffalo roast. You know, I used to venison roasts in a crock pot a lot too, and I got really good at taking the wild right out of that, and especially once you get that initial roast cut up and all that stuff, and you have like one meal out of it, then I'd take and shred the rest of it up into barbecue. And of course, you know, once you get a barbecue sauce in there, you can't taste it. It just tastes the same as beef barbecue. Yeah, I don't know. Erica was talking about the no official reports of anacondas eating people. I don't know that there's any official reporting of it. But I do see how it would be possible. I mean, like, especially when you get out there, these really lean kids that might weigh, 40 pounds soaking wet. I mean, I've seen retics eat 40-pound meals before. So I'm quite certain you get them out there. There's been a villager or two that's been a meal. And some of the big retics that I've worked with, like I said, I've worked with retics that were, 22 feet and over 200 pounds, and they would put down a 5-year-old kid. They put down some pretty big meals. Yeah. Yeah, see, I was never a deer hunter, but I always had friends that were, so they would always call me up and say, "Hey, man, I got a couple quarters here left over if you want them. I don't have room for them." So I'd go over and get them and prep them up. I'll never forget the first time I told my daughter we was going over to get some meat from a friend, and we go over, and when I come back with a really big feed bag, set it down on the counter, and it's the whole back quarter of a deer. She about lost her cookies right there. I thought you was going to get meat. I'm like, this is meat. This is where it comes from. What are you doing back there? Oh, yeah, we always give our animals friggin' mixed signals. Nice. Yeah, big Komodo would swallow a small kid too, man. It's amazing the size meal them things can take down. It might take them an hour or two to do it sometimes, but what are you doing? Yeah. See, that's the stuff that I always used to like to use deer meat for was, stuff like hamburger helper and spaghetti and stuff that, you could grind it up and it was always full of spices and stuff. So it kind of helped kill that taste. So you didn't want to eat it if it was Bambi, but Bucky's okay, huh? That's really sexist. Why's it got to be a male to be okay to eat? Hey, Chris, how's it going? Oh, man, we're doing good. Another busy day, as usual. But we decided to come on, and Christina was on for a little while. She's one of the folks that's going to be out there with us at this event at the museum. So I had to come on and chat about this for a little while. And we ended up talking about food. I've got 3 pies in there waiting for me. And I'm really surprised I'm not sitting here drooling all over my snake. Mm. Yeah, I didn't have much of a childhood. I didn't even know what Bambi sound like a girl's name. And Bambi sounds like a stripper's name, so I figured that the deer would be a female too, but I know McKnight. I don't. Unless you're talking to someone else. Hey Ruth, how you doing? You made it. Probably getting ready to call it and go stuff my face here pretty soon, but hang on. I'm trying to think if there's anything else pertinent that I need to put out about the educational. It feels like I'm forgetting to say so much about it, but I think we've really covered all bases on it. Oh yeah, yeah. As soon as you tape that foil up to the top of those screens, man, it does make a big difference. And realize how much. And a lot of people overventilate their snakes enclosures to begin with because you will get, as long as you keep it clean and you don't let methane and crap like that build up for them. But you get a big enough air gap in between sliding doors and stuff like that for them to breathe. But as soon as you start leaving the vents open all the way around it, then it will completely suck the humidity out of there more often than not. South Carolina is a neighbor. Lito, you're going to have to, if you're in South Carolina, man, you're going to have to jump on the Carolina Herpetological Society stuff. Because that is intended to be North and South Carolina. I know last year, or this past year, a lot of the events and get-togethers were out in South Carolina. Ruth was asking what snake this is. This is Ramses. He's a green tree python. And again, all over the place, just like everybody else has been tonight. Yes, Nicole, it is. I can verify that is indeed a stripper name. Oh, nice. It's an Aru locality green. I do really. There are some really, really gorgeous emerald tree boas that I would like to make some enclosures for too. Once I get the space problem fixed. Oh, you're good. You're good. This will be on the internet forever. Whatever my snake is getting ready to do to my ear is going to be on the internet forever. So, what are you saying? He's whispering something in my ear and I don't understand it. Okay, now he's just breathing in my ear. I guess he's decided to relax now for a while. Is that all righty, Sam? We'll see you next time around, man. Have a good night. He's on small rats. Typically, I'll feed him some stillborn rabbits every now and then too. I've got some quail in there and chicks and stuff like that. He's really pretty good about eating just about anything. He's never refused any specific meal. Now, this animal, the guy that had this animal before me did a really awesome job with him. When I first showed up there, I pulled him off the perch, and he's been like this ever since I got him. So I was really surprised when I went over because the guy said, I don't know anybody else can take him. Can you take him and all that stuff? So I went over and bought him in the enclosure. And as soon as I go in there and I started messing with him, I was like, damn, you've done an awesome job with this because this is a chill snake. All right, Greg. You have a good one, buddy. I will talk with you soon. Yeah, that aluminum HVAC tape is awesome. I love that stuff. I've made a couple melamine enclosures. I don't know if you're familiar with melamine or not. It's a coated particle board. But that melamine is really, really tough. You can scrape on it for years as an enclosure. But one of my enclosures down there has got a couple scratches on it. I'm sorry. I'm going to move my hand. Got a couple scratches on it. And once you scratch that melamine, the water will infiltrate and it'll start to bubble a little bit. So I just put a strip of that aluminum HVAC tape over top of that. And you can scrape over. You're not scraping that tape off of there. And it's lasted literally for years. In the same spot, cleaning that enclosure time and time again. It's really good stuff. Let's see. Give me 1 second. There's coffee present. I need some. Okay, much better. Yeah, he's a pretty chill snake. Most of my animals that I've had for a long time, all of my animals that I've had for a long time are pretty chill. It's the new ones that are a little spicy still. Of course, I mean, here pretty soon, the Sri Lankan, he's gonna be all relaxed. It's not going to take too long. He already does really good once I get him out. My I've got another orange little phantom retic in there. It's about 6-7 feet, something like that. And we're still learning each other, but he still does really good once he gets out. And he's another one that's just incredibly high energy. I end up chasing him all over hell for about 30 minutes, and then he'll finally wear himself out and go to sleep on my shoulder. Okay. Let's see. I think I'm going to put him back. And I'm going to take this fresh cup of coffee that I've got and figure out which piece of pie I'm going to put on a plate next to it and go stuff my face for a little while. And if you guys didn't check out the video we put out earlier with Tigger, he is, it was kind of a rewrite of, some stuff that we've done before, talking about people being afraid of big snakes and stuff like that. But it is a good opportunity to get him out and show him again. I always love working with that big retic. He's the biggest male I've ever worked with. And people are so terrified of male retics so often because they think they just want to breed and kill them and all that stuff. But my guy down there is pretty sweet. He does pretty good. Just like you. Yeah, right. Oh, let's see. All right, guys. So, I'm going to go take a nap. And again, like I said, guys, this event is going to be Friday next week. So hopefully by the time we do the live stream next Saturday, I'll try and have some footage there or have a video out or something like that so you guys can kind of see how it's all done. We'll interview the director, the person that helped set it up and all that other stuff. So I really want to get as much information out about that thing right there as I can. So it was really cool hanging out with you guys, man. It's always fun. And of course, I could sit here and talk snakes for another 2 hours. But I'm going to go stuff my face. So I'll try and get at least one more video out this week. See if I can come up with a good idea. And then we'll fill everybody in on how it goes on Friday. So you guys have an outstanding evening. It's good to see everybody again. And we will see you next time. Have a good night, guys.